turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
Evil ninjas, exotic Asian mysticism, computer tech nerds, and shy geishas. Outside of a few notable roles in the past few years, such as Rinko Kiguchi as Jaeger pilot Mako Mori in Pacific Rim, Doctor-turned-detective Joan Watson in Elementary, played by Lucy Liu, and zombie apocalypse survivor Glenn, played by Steven Yeun, the roles that Asian actors are offered are still very limited, and even then some of those are being taken away. With the dropping of the Doctor Strange teaser trailer yesterday, Marvel has not only failed to address its diversity problem with regards to its movies and Netflix series, but it's also continued on another proud Hollywood tradition of using another culture as fancy window dressing. Combined with the news that filming of the live-action Ghost in the Shell movie has recently started, with Scarlett Johansson in the leading role as the Major, and it should be obvious even to the most ignorant among us that there is a problem here. It's been a long-standing problem, to be sure, but one that our geek culture doesn't appear to want to address anytime soon, to say the least of Western audiences that will be seeing these films. Some of the older examples of this include Rex Harrison playing the King of Siam in Anna and the King of Siam, Katharine Hepburn playing a rebelling Chinese woman named Jade fighting the Japanese invasion of China in Dragon Seed. More recently, fan favorite series Firefly had Chinese dialogue spouted by the main characters on signs in many locations with background extras who were Asian but no leading characters who were. Heck, another of Scarlett Johansson's films, Lucy, started off in Taiwan, where the country was nothing more than window dressing, completely ignorant of how things are in that country with regard to crime, where all the bad guys were Asian, and she kills them all. In short, Hollywood and geekdom aren't looking too good with these two movies soon coming out. And for what I heard about the last half of Daredevil Season 2, as I've only got up to episode 5, Evil Ninja Nobu remains his usual flat two-dimensional self. But for now, we're going to concentrate on Ghost in the Shell and Doctor Strange doing what they do best, whitewashing and cultural appropriation. Doctor Strange's origins are much like those of Iron Fist, where a white guy from America travels to the exotic Far East, learns their ways, becomes better than the people practicing said ways for hundreds of years, and then returns to America. Personally, unless the writing is greatly improved, I really don't see any way to save this racist origin. And it certainly didn't help matters when news came about that Tilda Swinton was cast in the role of the Ancient One. All through the trailer we see Binkerdink Pumpernickel walking along locations in Asia, as part of the film was done in Nepal, situated between India and Tibet, with buildings done up in architecture to induce the thought of Asian construction. Oh, and one black man. Wait, that's Chiwetel Ejiofor. What role is he playing? Baron Mordo? Baron Mordo? The only person of color given any kind of significant shot in this trailer is the bad guy? I guess I should be happy that he's not the Transylvanian nobleman who was also studying with the Ancient One in the comics, but wow, what a waste of talent here. There have long been excuses as to hide the racist casting decision behind this film. No, casting a white woman in the place of an Asian man is not progressive. Whitewashing never was and never will be progressive. And the other excuse that I've heard with regards to this is that this is Marvel's way of undercutting the racist tone of Doctor Strange's origin, with one person telling me that it's a way of introducing, well, Moondragon, the daughter of Drax the Destroyer. Except Tilda Swinton is not playing Moondragon, she's playing the Ancient One. As for Ghost in the Shell, the two most common excuses I've heard is that, one, they need a bankable actress in order to sell the film, and two, that in the anime, the Major switches between cyborg bodies, and that here it could be that she's just inhabiting a Caucasian body, but still be Japanese on the inside. Let's address that first excuse, shall we? Now, while I understand that movie making is a business, and that movie studios have to succeed to make a profit off the movies they make, I still find this excuse of a bankable actress to be a pretty flimsy one at best. After all, how many movies starring little known or no name white male actors have been made in the past? Die Hard's final casting call for the lead of New York detective John McClane came down between the lead from Moonlighting, Bruce Willis, and the star of two Evil Dead movies, which were cheaply made horror gore films, Bruce Campbell. Heck, Chris Evans had not one, but two terrible Fantastic Four movies under his belt when he was offered the role of Captain America. And do you know Harrison Ford? Why, he moved furniture before he was cast as Han Solo in Star Wars. And even then, everyone has to start from somewhere. You can't become a bankable actor or actress if you're not given a shot in the first place. And even then, having a bankable actor is not a guarantee of a hit at the box office. Just ask Bruce Willis about Hudson Hawk, or Arnold Schwarzenegger about Last Action Hero. You know, there was that mountain climbing movie Sylvester Stallone was in. Oh, Ben Affleck was in Daredevil. That was a real stinker of a movie that bombed. Heck, he's even Batman in Batman vs. Superman, which has had a 70% decrease in attendance rates after the first week. As for the second excuse of the Major inhabiting a Caucasian body, while this may be more in line with the series and the movies where she has swapped between cyborg bodies, they've always been Japanese models. That, combined with the fact that I've seen no Japanese actress cast in the leading role of the Major, and Ghost in the Shell becomes another example of whitewashing, because that worked oh so well for The Last Airbender. However, considering Hollywood's long-standing tradition of yellowface, I suppose we should be grateful that no one taped Scarlett's eyes up a la Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Nah, I think I'm still going to remain mad at this racist casting decision. So what do we do to fix it? Well, for starters, we should listen to Asian actors when they talk about the discrimination they faced during casting calls. We should have more diversity in all levels of production in movies as well as other media, and we should call this BS out when it happens. After all that I've talked about thus far, it's nothing new. It's what I've learned from reading Asian bloggers go on about where roles have been erased, where they have very few people to look up to, or they've been portrayed in deeply offensive, racist ways. We've got to do better. It's 2016 for crying out loud. And don't even get me started on the casting call of Iron Fist. They didn't just get a white guy, they got the whitest guy possible. Like hell, I'm pretty pale and I live in northern Canada, and I think I've got a better tan than this dude does. I'm Triple J, that's all I got left to say. Take care.
I'm turning down, I'm turning in, I'm turning right, I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese.